So I was like really butthurt. I was like literally screaming. I was like sweating. I was getting fucking worked up. I was having this crazy argument. I was arguing with my mom. I was debating my mom. I was debating my mom, talking about like the meaning of life and religion. Da, da, da. So basically, like it started about the whole nihilism thing. Like, oh man, hold on, hold on. Basically, it was like, so I was talking about, like, she was saying like something doesn't need to be eternal for it to have meaning. In fact, the two things are unrelated. Like I was basically, see, maybe this is just me, but I think that things, not even that things have to be eternal, but they have to be like part of a broader thing, kind of outside of themselves, like larger than themselves, in order to have meaning. Um, I was basically saying that things, yeah, things need to be like, what is the point of, yeah, what is the point of, hello, Alanis, what is the point of living, of, what's the point of anything, because someone had said this to me recently. They said to me, like, what's the point of anything you do if you, all you do is, you, nothing matters because you're just going to die anyway, and even if you don't die, it's like humanity will die inevitably. Yeah. Thanks, Mirage, but no, she is, dude. That's where I get it from. That's where I get it from, her side. But in fact, I think she's probably higher verbal IQ than I am. I'm not sure if she's overall smarter than I am, but I think she has higher verbal IQ than I am. She trounces me. Play me. Play Alanis. Dude, I'm gonna get a copyright strike. I read your message. I just can't play some copyrighted stuff. Um, oh, fuck it. You ought to know. Oh my god. So literally, so basically, I was just hush, woman. So I was just raging Cajun, basically. Like I was talking about like this is too distracting. I was talking about how reality is, or not reality. I was talking about how, I was agreeing with this person. I was saying, yeah, she's nice. Sorry, I have to turn this down. It's too distracting. But I was saying that basically, there's a reason for, sorry, I got so lost. I was saying, permanence, I guess, is important. I guess I was saying, yeah, what this person said is pretty reasonable, and this is sort of like the logical. This is sort of the logical nihilism that one comes to when they're looking at life from sort of a materialist atheist perspective. Maybe it's more common amongst men than women. I don't know, but I think that. But basically, I I was saying, yeah, what is the point of life after all, or anything? What's the point of anyone doing anything within the materialist atheist framework? You have to basically accept, something about God, basically, something about like the soul. You have to accept that like spiritual truth before, like that truth of the soul before it, because if you don't, it's like, what's the point of anything? And I was talking about like morality and stuff like that, like where would one even necessarily draw morality from? And I mean, she was coming at me with, she said, like religion is not that religion is like that the basically it's a childish type of person who has to believe in God because has to believe in God because like I don't know. She didn't really list. She didn't really list a reason. She was just like, I just think that's childish, and it was shit. I'm doing a bad job of recounting this. I'm too worked up. I'm way too worked up right now. But she, yeah, it is a totally arbitrary claim, but it was getting me so triggered. That was literally like her triggering like remark, like just how some people have their style of like just throwing in a jab, like Norvin, like will just like like into between like the actual like logical arguments, will just like throw in like something to like demoralize. It's like that's what it felt like, and literally. what was it? She said that I was saying, you know, and then I listed, other reasons why basically religion's good. Yeah, I remember when you took paganism seriously. Paganism's interesting, and I think it might be good for Europeans. I don't know, or Christianity. I don't know, or maybe something new. But she was basically, and I mean, she's right, like about like where we're at in terms of accepting the materialist framework. But she's basically says that for something to be meaningful, like what is meaning? For something to be meaningful, or for something to be like significant, it it doesn't matter, like just because of how long something lasts, or the scope of it doesn't necessarily make it uh yeah. Yeah, I agree, person. But it might necessarily make it the scope of something, or how long it lasts, or if something is eternal, let's say, that doesn't necessarily make it more meaningful. So I was trying to say, what is meaning? And we were talking about like ancestors and descendants. It's like shit. I don't know. I need to cool down. I can recount this one. I'll recount this one when I'm a bit calmer. I'm just like too in the heat of things to even remember what I was talking about. Um, but yeah, it was pretty nuts. It was pretty nuts. I should have recorded it. But I was just like, I was fuming, honestly. I was really, really getting quite upset. And she would just say that I'm trying to put an artificial binary on things, that doesn't need to be there. And so I was arguing like the hard materialist. I was arguing the hard materialist position against her, because she was and saying that one needs to basically like believe in like some sort of soul or something like that, or else what a lot of the science point, not all of it, and in fact there are science articles that disagree, but I was arguing from just like the scientific kind of like hyper materialist science type perspective of like well, brain death means like all death of complete death of all consciousness, etc., etc. So what is the point of what makes an idea meaningful if when all humans die of universe heat death, for instance? What makes an idea meaningful? Is an idea meaningful if a person just has an idea and then that person dies? What's that idea meaningful just to that one person, etc.? And she was just saying that not only are things anthropocentric, but everything anthropocentrism. She was arguing not just from a point of anthropocentrism, but of one of the individual, basically, and saying that well, yeah, like meaning in life, etc. Comes from the individual, and they sort of generate it and whatnot. And that's all based on, and she said that what, and I asked her finally, what determines meaning, like what determines how meaningful something is. And she said meaning is, yeah, I saw that, Alanis, it's fine. She said that meaning is determined by how complex something, well, she said, well, I was saying that she's saying like change is good, like things that are eternal are bad, things that are eternal are bad, or not bad, but like that change is like good, like just as good, basically. And that how good something is determined by complexity, diversity, and interaction, or something like complexity, diversity, interaction, and stuff like that. And I was saying, I don't know, I don't even know what I was saying. It was honestly a shit show. It was a total shit show. All right, well, it was just nuts. It was just nuts. Here, hold on. I'm gonna go over the notes that I made. Yeah. What did she say? That ideas are immaterial, and yeah. And I was saying no, ideas aren't immaterial. Like ideas only exist within the mind of a human, and when there's brain death, and when all humans' brains are dead, and all carbon-based life forms are dead, all ideas are dead. And I was also talking, I don't know. I think she BTFO'd me. Yeah, I agree. Menthol gold. Actually, I completely agree with you. That's the take that I usually have in terms of how I approach reality. But yeah. I don't know, man. I'm literally like breathing heavily. It was too intense, yo. It was too intense. Damn. Yeah, that was too intense, man. All right, I'm just gonna sit back, relax for a second. Yeah, chill. Dude, this is why we need to, like, you know, like keep silence these like freaking heretics, you know? Because like all it takes is one of them, and it fucks everything up in a society. These dissenters, you know. You know what I mean? Yeah, thank you, Persian drum. I try to be. Yeah, no. But I was raging so hard, dude. She BTFO'd me. She BTFO'd me just frickin' with her high verbal IQ, and I couldn't do anything about it. Ooh, this is the heart chakra. Oh, oh, that's epic. Good. Now I'm gonna eat some red meat. Mm. Mm. This is like Luke Ford tier. It's like I'm eating red meat while I'm stretching my arms behind my head. Yeah, dude, intestinal parasites do have a superior perspective. That's your hands. What's a forearm? That's this part, right? I did put my forehands on my fore. I did do that before. It's like this, right? Oh, my hand, my forearm. Like, oh, like this. Oh, like this. Marginalized meat for marginalized sons. Yeah, dude. I don't know, dude. I just went in there on a rampage. I think I went in there on a bit of a religious rampage. Or no, what it was is that I was feeling like very nihilistic and existential crisisy, and I was hoping that she would like affirm some of my like basic religious presuppositions. But she was I don't know, dude. She doesn't even like believe in like ancestor communication and like basic stuff like I which is something that's even happened to me. So it's like I don't know. Anyway, that was crazy, man. The whole thing was nuts. The whole thing was nuts.